Hello, folks. I'm here with a new old gun review. What I mean by that is, I bought this gun sometime in the mid 2000s, maybe around anywhere around 2005 or I believe around 2010. And I bought this Glock 30 at the time and just never did a review on it until now. Uh, how I came about this review is I haven't fired this uh, firearm in such a while. This is usually my everyday carry for the winter, and I'll explain that. But I haven't really did a review on it, and I'm gonna let you know why and how this review came up. I figured it was time to get this put some more rounds in this firearm. I believe at the time when I bought it, I only put roughly about 200 rounds, so I guess it really needed a break in. So I wind up taking my fiance to the range so she could get acquainted with her new firearm, which is right here. This is a Ruger LC9S. And what was going on is I will give a review on this later on, but what was going on was she had problems racking the slide, and she was saying that it was her fingers might not be strong enough or whatnot. So I decided to, hey, why don't you give the Glock a try, this Glock 30, even though that's a 9 millimeter, this is a 45, and to see how it was to pull the slide back on this. And she said this was an easier slide to pull back versus the Ruger LC9S, because I guess the spring system over there is a lot tighter and is possibly not broken in enough. But usually with a small gun like that, you have issues with that particular size. Everything is compact, so everything is pretty much tight. But I started firing this firearm, and I let her get 10 shots in. It's kind of funny. Her first 10 shots were all within, I would say, the six ring. She did not fire any rounds outside of the six ring. And I'm just going to show you my target. My target here, excuse me for that. My target here, she got inside here, all inside here with 10 shots. Like I said, this is not her target, but I was very impressed that she was able to do that with the fact that she's never fired a 45 before, and she did very well. Just to talk about this target since it's already here, I fired roughly about 20, 25 rounds in this target, and I got some really decent groups for not firing this firearm since it was maybe about 2005, maybe, or around that time. I lost track, but I only had 200 rounds in this, and I've decided I need to break it in a little more, especially if this is going to be an everyday carry, and I should be ashamed of myself for that. But I lit this area up, very good accuracy. Then I got a little carried away, but just trying to fire as fast as I could, just by point shooting. And of course, you get your flyers, you get poor grip, and you end up over here, and you end up with some shots that you don't want to. But these were basically the slower shots where I did pretty much took my time and took shots like I was supposed to, as opposed to these. And I was very impressed that I was able to shoot this gun that accurately, especially without having fired this in a while. Especially, well, I'm used to Glocks anyway because I fire Glocks for roughly about 25 years. So it shouldn't come as a surprise to me. But with this package, sometimes you have to set your hands a little different or set your sight grouping a little different. One thing I will say about this, you've seen all the other videos out there comparing the Glock 21 or the Glock 17 about the girth and the size. I'm not going to go through all that because I'm just going to cut this video short because there's a lot of Glock 30 videos out there. This is a very, very good compact 45. And when you think about it, this is a double stack with a with a 10 round magazine. Plus, you get one in the chamber, which is very good. So you have one in the chamber, and you got 11 rounds of firing. Some 1911s, I'm a big 1911 fan. Some of those you only get like a 7 round magazine with one in the chamber, or there are some like the 6 hour Scorpion would have 8 round magazines, so you get the extra one in the chamber. But for a compact size with this firearm, it's a very good firearm. At the time I bought this, this was the I guess one of the first ones out there. I do believe they have another Glock out there. I think it's the 36, if I'm correct. Hopefully I got the designation right. And it's a single stack, which is they didn't have a single stack when I originally bought this firearm. But the single stack idea is a very good idea. But I kind of like the larger capacity. I don't know how many are held in the single stack version of this, but I kind of like having my 10 rounds here. And as you see, it's a little girthy. Now, I usually carry this appendix style, and I carry it appendix style because due to my body frame, if I put it on the side, it will print extremely easily. I'm a medium frame kind of athletic build, but it will print easily. And if you live in the city like I live in, uh, it would definitely show up that you either have a firearm or you have your t-shirt sticking out on the side, or if you're like me, I ride a motorcycle. If your shirt's flapping in the wind, you can basically see that another car can be driving by you and or behind you, and you can see that firearm and might make them nervous. So for me, I like to carry appendix style. Make sure if you do carry appendix style that you really get a holster that provides a good area where the trigger is covered. Make sure you do that. Whether it's a leather one or a DeSantis makes a some type of other material that covers the trigger well. You don't want a flimsy holster that it will go into the trigger well and then there's an accident. So a lot of people get on me about why you carry appendix style. I said it's easier for me to conceal it. People don't notice it as much. But with this, if you're carrying appendix style, because it's girth, it can make you a little bit uncomfortable in like your midsection because it's so thick. And another problem is you might either have to adjust your pant size, and nobody wants to spend time buying extra size pants or whatever the case may be. So I usually don't carry this in the winter. I don't carry, correction, I don't carry this in the summer because it's a little bit uncomfortable, like I said, riding a motorcycle or so forth. So what I do is in the winter, because you're wearing a thicker amount of clothing, you can use like a sweater or some type of fleece, and you can cover it easily, and it's not going to be basically seen like as if you were wearing a t-shirt. What I do carry in the summer, I carry the Glock 27. It feels better in the pants, appendix style, and it doesn't cause any printing. I can wear a t-shirt with or a polo shirt, pretty snug, and nobody would notice that I was carrying a Glock 27. But about this is good in the winter, especially like I said, I'm from the city. You need some type of defense or something of that nature, especially with the 45 ACP round. You need some type of penetration because in the wintertime, a lot of people wear like these type of Parker type coats, or they wear some type of North Face coat, which has a lot of material that, and I've seen it in several occasions with police shootings where they are in a gun battle and the 9 millimeter round that some officers carry. We carry three different calibers in my department, but I've seen people when they're hit by police with a 9 millimeter round, the round sometimes is raveled up inside the coat or whatnot. So with this, I want to be able to protect myself when I'm off duty, but also have some type of penetration. Now, granted that the 45 ACP is not a cure-all. You can get a 45 ACP plus P or something of that nature to help, but it's better to have some type of power than rather not to have none. So I don't really want to debate people with that. So uh, that is one of the reasons why I carry this in the winter and as opposed to the spring and summer months. And what I like about it is my favorite caliber is a 45. And I do like the way the pointability with this and how you're able to be on target, and it's pretty accurate for this type of firearm to have only roughly I believe it's a 3.5 inch or 3 inch barrel. So I plan to do a little more testing with this later on. I just wanted to mention that my fiance, when she was firing this, she only had one problem with this, is this gun has been safety checked, and so there's nothing in the chamber or anything. So her problem was when this magazine is in, there's a little space in between here where she gripped her hand and her finger or part of her finger in this area would get pinched by this. And that is the only gripe that she had with it. She liked it, and I think uh, she's going to probably try to get comfortable with this. But I got to try to find a firearm that she would like, because in the next video we'll talk about the Ruger LC9, and I'll explain later what problems she had with that, or whether she needs additional training or whatnot to get used to certain things. But for a first time for her to use a 45 and get everything inside that 6 ring, which really amazed me with 10 shots, is amazing to me. She did not do pretty well with this, and I'll explain that later. But in the meantime, in the future, what I plan to do is, since I'm a 1911 fan, I will plan to do a versus my Glock 30 versus a Kimber Super Carry Ultra. Now, a lot of people seen the Glock 30 versus CDP, a Kimber CDP, but I want to do my own for the Super Carry Ultra, which is really the same as the CDP. It's just got a lot of more glitz and glamour on the outside cosmetically. But there are some differences that I have noticed, and some comparisons and some advantages either to the Kimber Super Carry Ultra or to the Glock, and I'll explain that in another video. But in the meantime, I just wanted to make this like a little short review on this because, like I said, there are a lot of Glock 30s out there in reviews, and they're all excellent. So I just wanted to give you my impressions. All right, talk to you later, and you guys take care and stay safe.